Yeah. S-
Yes, sir.
Since you're in making inquiry towards rediscovering our roots,
Yes, sir.
cultural roots, uh, and since you're also a lawyer, I've asked this a very basic question to a lot of friends who are lawyers. What does law mean in Hindi? And this question is for you as well as all the law department students. This is question one. Question two depends on how do you answer question one.
So, as a non-native speaker of Hindi, I would want to choose between dharma and nyaya. Nyaya is justice. However, I don't know how many people watch this movie, Mulk, by Anubhav Sinha. So, at the fag end of the movie, Ashutosh Rana delivers a line, and people in theaters were clapping wildly. I thought, what idiots. Anyways, uh, he basically said at the end of the verdict, फिर से न्याय ने धर्म को चित कर दिया. That was his statement, clearly showing how narrowly dharma has been interpreted, which is it has been approximated and triangulated to religion. If you were to ask anyone who has even a decent understanding of Hindu jurisprudence, nyaya which is inconsistent with dharma is anyaya. There cannot be a concept of justice which is beyond the pale of dharma. And under the Vajpayee government, they had started a commission under the leadership of Sri K. Parasaran on revisitation of the constitution through a dharmic perspective. So what they wanted to do was Bharatiya Karan of the Bharatiya Samvidhan. As usual, it was called Bhagwa Karan. And that project had to be stopped midway. And I haven't seen a discussion on the very same issue come about ever since. So, the long answer to your short question is, our notions of justice, our notions of what is right and what is wrong emanate from that Gangotri called Dharma. And Gangotri itself comes from the Jata called Rita. And unless and until we understand these fundamental concepts, we will be muddled in either Anglo-Saxon or Roman notions of justice, which continues to be the case. And anyone who understands the history of common law, which is what we constantly call Bharat as a common law jurisdiction, common law has its origins in the Testament, Old and New. It has very clear biblical foundations. In the first book, with authority, I've cited this from their own judgments. So much so that, so we all know the history of the British East India Company to a significant extent. So British East India Company was given an exclusive monopoly or a license to operate in Bharat. Now those entities who indulged in trade and who were not parties or who were not part of the East India Company, British East India Company, were hauled up and sued by the British East India Company in English courts. They said, I have the exclusive license from the government. How can you indulge in trade in this territory when you don't have the license? I'm the exclusive licensee for this trade. In those judgments, I'll tell you what the discussion was. A Christian state cannot indulge in trade with a heathen jurisdiction or a pagan jurisdiction. And a Christian citizen can indulge in trade with a non-Christian state only if it is sanctioned by the crown, because the crown is the protector of the Christian faith. And therefore, those who violated the exclusive license which was given to British East India Company were held guilty on 2 counts. One for violating the exclusive license and the second for violating principles of Christianity. Both. I have cited those judgments in the book. This is the extent to which common law and Christian, let's say English jurisprudence is heavily rooted in Christian jurisprudence or Judeo-Abrahamic traditions. Ask most lawyers and they'll be so comfortable saying, oh, we are proud bearers of common law tradition, we are proud torchbearers of Anglo-Saxon tradition. They don't even know how unsecular these traditions are. So they will bat for secularism under the constitution and also subscription to common law, which has unsecular origins at the same time. It is as antagonistic as it can get. What's your second question?
I think you've already answered my second question. It's just that the concepts are getting lost, in translation or the wrong kind of semantics. So I think
So
you've
when the
answered it.
NEP was released, as opposed to asking how do we do a Bharatiya Karan of Indian legal education, there was only one paragraph, and if my memory serves me right, I had prepared a representation, para 16.7, where the only question that was asked was, how is artificial intelligence going to affect the justice dispensation system? In the national education policy, where you should have asked whether Hindu jurisprudence, such as the Shad Darshanas, do they find any place as part of political theories and political legal theory education in this country? That question was given a complete go by in such a crucial area. And hence, when someone says this is a very Hindu conscious government, I will always test a government's Hindu consciousness not on the basis of politics, but on the basis of policy. Until Rajniti does not affect Niti, it has really very little consequence.
Brilliant, thank you.